Bigfoot Lake. Stories from the edge of the firelight. True encounters with the unknown, the forgotten, and the feared. I'm your host. Most folks just call me Bigfoot. Welcome. Pull up a stump, have a seat, and let's begin tonight's journey with our first encounter, sent to us by John. It started in August of 2010. I was 24, working long hours at a warehouse in Tacoma. Life was dull, digital, and boxed in. So I planned a weekend escape. 3 days solo in Olympic National Park. Just me, a tent, and some trail mix. The trail was Deer Ridge, not super popular, but beautiful. High pines, deep valleys, rivers you can drink straight from. It's real wilderness. I told a buddy where I was going, packed my gear, and left my phone in the glove box. I wanted peace. I didn't know I was walking into something ancient. The first day, peaceful. I hiked 12 miles, made camp by a stream. The air was crisp, smelled like cedar and wet stone. That night, I sat by the fire, wrote in my journal, nothing strange. Not yet. Around 3 a.m., I woke up needing to pee. The forest was pitch black, but I stepped out with my flashlight, walked maybe 10 yards from the tent. And then I heard it. Not a bear, not an owl. It was a long, low howl, like something imitating a wolf, but wrong. Too deep, too human. I froze. Every instinct said go back inside. So I did. As I zipped up the tent, I heard twigs snap. Something big was moving through the trees. But when I shined the flashlight, nothing. I didn't sleep the rest of the night. Next morning, I tried to rationalize. Cougar? Elk? I packed up early and headed further down the ridge to a more open clearing. Safer. That's when I saw the tracks. 5 toes, barefoot. Human-like. But huge. Maybe 17 inches long. They were spaced far apart. I followed them for maybe 50 feet. Then they just stopped. No turn, no break, just gone. Later I found a tree. It was snapped. Not deadfall, not wind. Snapped off, 6 feet up. Like something had twisted it. That's when I stopped feeling like I was alone. The second night I camped close to a rock face, hoping it would give me some protection. It didn't help. Around midnight I heard heavy breathing outside my tent. Then the zipper started to move. I grabbed my hunting knife, heart pounding. The zipper jiggled, then stopped. Silence. Then thud. Something hit the side of the tent hard. I screamed. The thing grunted deep and angry and ran off into the trees, snapping branches as it moved. I waited until dawn before unzipping the tent. That third day, I was done. I turned back towards the trailhead. No food, barely slept, but I couldn't shake the feeling I was being followed. I stopped for water by a small stream, and across the bank, it was there. Massive, hair like bark, at least 8 feet tall, arms longer than mine by far. It was crouched, half behind a tree, watching. And its eyes, they weren't glowing, but they had weight, depth, intelligence. Not an animal, not fully. We stared at each other for maybe 10 seconds. I didn't breathe. Then it tilted its head and vanished into the green like it had never been there. I ran until my knees gave out. I made it to the car the next morning. Drove home in silence. Never reported it. You tell people you saw Bigfoot, you're a joke. A crazy. I didn't want that. But it changed me. I see shadows now where I didn't before. I don't camp solo. I don't trust the woods after dark. I don't think it wanted to hurt me, but it wanted me to know it was there, that it's still there. You can choose not to believe me. That's okay. But next time you're out in the forest, alone, with the wind shifting and the fire low, and you feel eyes on you, don't look away. It might already be too late. That concludes tonight's first encounter. Have you ever had an experience that you felt watched like that? Let us know in the comments and consider hitting that thumbs up. Tonight's second encounter comes from a listener in southern Ohio who wishes to remain anonymous. Let's begin his encounter. I've hunted these hills for over 20 years. Wayne National Forest. It's home to whitetail, turkey, coyotes, you name it. But what happened to me last October wasn't anything I could explain. I wasn't drunk, I wasn't high, I wasn't tired. I was just a man in the woods, doing what he's always done, until I realized I wasn't alone. Something out there was watching me, and it wasn't a bear, it wasn't a man. I know what I saw, and I know what I heard, and what I felt. I'll never forget. It was October 12th, 2023, archery season. It was a cold morning. Dew was on the leaves. The sun hadn't come up yet. I was hiking to a ridge I've hunted for years. North end of the forest, a few miles past a place the locals call Dead Man's Hollow. I had my Hoyt bow and a sidearm on my hip. Full gear. I was planning on a 2-day solo hunt. I set up near an old logging road. No signs of people, just deer trails and fresh scat. Everything felt normal. For the first few hours, it was just nature. I spotted a couple doe, had a nice 8-pointer come within range, but I let him walk. I don't take shots on the first day. It's just my rule. It started just before noon. I was taking a break, eating lunch by a big fallen log, when I heard this knock. Like 2 solid pieces of wood hitting each other. 3 sharp whacks. I froze. Thought maybe another hunter. I called out, "Hey, anyone out there?" Nothing. Dead quiet. That knock, though, it wasn't random. It was a signal. Then came the rocks. Small at first, like pebbles, tossed from somewhere uphill. No wind, no animals, just deliberate tosses, like someone was warning me or testing me. I stood up. I scanned with binoculars. Couldn't see a thing. About an hour later, I was still in that spot when everything went silent. No birds, no squirrels. You ever been in the woods when it gets too quiet? That's when you know a predator's nearby. I felt it in my gut. Then out of nowhere, this massive crash through the brush. Something big on two legs barreling toward me. I drew my pistol, shouted, "Hey!" but it didn't stop. It got maybe 30 yards from me, then stopped. Just stopped. I could hear it breathing. Heavy, wet. Then nothing. No retreat, no advance. I didn't see it, but I could feel it, like it was sizing me up, testing me. Later that afternoon, I moved camp. It didn't feel right staying there. Found a new spot, deeper down the ridge, near a creek bed. But it wasn't long before the feeling returned. More rocks, more knocks. Then I heard something different. A whimper. High-pitched. Not human, not quite animal. Like a child. Scared. Crying. That's when I saw it. Through the trees, 8 feet tall, covered in dark, reddish-brown hair. Wide shoulders, no neck, and eyes like coals. But what struck me the most was what was beside it. A smaller one, no more than 3 feet tall, with a pale face, crouched behind its mother, shaking. That's when it all clicked. This wasn't some monster hunting me. She was protecting her young, and I'd been tromping around her territory with weapons. Maybe I scared the little one with my gunfire earlier. Maybe that bluff charge was just a warning. Stay away from my baby. I lowered my weapons. Hands up. I didn't say a word. We just stared at each other through the trees. It felt like minutes, but it was probably 30 seconds. Then she turned, took the little one's hand, and they disappeared into the brush, silent, like ghosts. I packed up that night. Didn't even stay till morning. I hiked out in the dark. Every step felt like I was being watched. Maybe I was. But they didn't follow. They didn't hurt me. They just wanted peace. Wanted to be left alone. Since then, I haven't gone back to that ridge. I hunt elsewhere now. But not a day goes by I don't think about those eyes. That fear. That love. That humanity. I'm not here to convince you Bigfoot is real. I don't care if you believe me. But I know what I saw, and it wasn't a bear, and it wasn't a man in a suit. It was a mother, a living, breathing creature, and I invaded her world. Maybe she'd seen men before. Maybe she'd lost others to bullets. But I'm thankful she let me go. Maybe she saw something in me. Something that wasn't a threat. Next time you step into the woods, listen. Respect the silence. You might not be alone. And if you hear knocking or a cry that doesn't belong, maybe, just maybe, give it space. Give her space. Thank you for listening tonight. If you enjoyed tonight's encounters, please consider hitting that thumbs up and leave us a comment, even if it's just a comment to say hello. Those comments and thumbs up, they help us out in the YouTube algorithm and are very much appreciated by us here at Bigfoot Lake. Until next time, have a good night.